Da, da, da. Mr. What's Up? Hi. I said to go live on Twitter. I think we got that set up. I got to take my Advil and then we'll get practicing. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Sunday. Got my liquid gels here. Up, up, up. Ooh. Stretch. Good morning. Yeah, we're going to continue from yesterday. Good old Hertas. We're going to work on diddles. A lot of permutations to go through today, so I'm very excited. Very excited. We might go get a fish today. I think that's what we're doing after stream. He's going to pick up a beta fish. Does anyone have a beta fish? We've had a few over the years, but we haven't had one since our youngest was born, and he's never had a fish. So he's like, why? How come I've never had a fish? So we're gonna get it, and he's gonna name it, and I think he's naming it Godzilla. I don't know. He's a big Godzilla fan. So, yeah. Cheers. The Advil will kick in the old rotator cuff. Ugh. It's getting stronger. I think I'm gonna get a weight set. Like a, I don't know, nothing crazy, but I tore this thing really bad about 3 years ago. Some of you might remember where there was a stream, was it like 3.5 years ago? It was in the summer, and there was a whole stream. I was like, I could stream, I could do it, and I couldn't even like sit. Like the pain was just crazy, and I couldn't do a push-up for, I don't know, I think this until last May, like this last couple months ago, I could do a push-up. So it's getting stronger. Haven't had surgery, but you know, still every now and then acts up. But I could do push-ups now. I could probably do like 25. So I'm getting my strength back in my shoulders, and yeah. But the Advil helps as we get older, right? Stop inflammation. But we did singles and doubles yesterday on the first permutation of a Herta. So Paradiddle. And again, if anyone wants to check these out, I posted them on Twitter and Instagram 2 days ago. So that's what we're working on, the paper. But we're going to take a Herta, which is 4 notes, Paradiddle, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, in triplet form. So triplet, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the one we're working on. And we're going to apply paradiddle permutations. So like a normal paradiddle, an inverted paradiddle, a reverse paradiddle, and I call it an over-the-bar line paradiddle. I don't know what some people call it, but that's what I call it. So we're going to work on that and the roots of those and add flams. So busy day. Again, I'll zoom in. I guess it's already zoomed in. Hopefully it'll focus on it. But this is what we're working on, this side of the paper. So if you're following along or want to go check it out, that's where we're starting today. Big brain stuff. I'm just trying to see like which ones I like, which ones work well together, which one, like play well together or just seem similar that I could use in sequence. So yeah, should be a fun day. So if anyone has questions, please ask. Please interrupt. Let's see. I think I have the compressor turned on. Yeah. I love this kit. I love the Tama. I do. I love it. It does a thing. But I'm becoming very attached to this. And shout out to Jamie from Drum Center of Portsmouth, who was like, "You're gonna like it," and I was like, And he's like, "You're gonna like it." I like it. Love it. So this is church. Everyone turn in your hymnal to page Herta. I always hated singing in church. Hated it so much. And my mom would just look at me and be like, sing. And I'd be like, ugh. And then my sister would be like, Daniel's not singing. And I'd be like, I hated it. And one of the biggest things I hated about hymns in church was listening to everyone else sing out of key. I didn't do music or whatever when I was a kid, but I could tell when people sucked. And I was like, that person's horrible. That person's way off. That person can't sing. And then like people would go up and sing in front of the church, and I'd just be like, oh, God. And then I would get in trouble for making faces. And then my dad would do like the little nudge, right? Because he knew that they sucked. So he would like nudge me like they suck, right? And I'd be like, and then I would get in trouble. The whole mom thing, like, when we get home. I wish you were a real person, but goodbye. All right, here we go. Diddles, paradiddle. Right, left, right, left, left. the root of this one, this is what makes it tricky, is the root of it, it's head at it, so right, left, right, right. The root of it's actually 3 rights in a row if you take the 8th note triplet. So head at it, head at it. It's hard. It's tricky. That 3 in a row. one's cool. I like it, but I don't like it. I like it, so if we're playing, you know, at an uppity tempo, you know. Jalix, what's up? Your left foot gets a workout tapping. Yeah. All that jazz, right? Who needs what is it? A Peloton? Peloton? You don't need one of them. Just get a hi-hat. Right? And 1, and 2, and pedal. I don't know. They still make those Pelotons? Is that a thing still? That was a big deal back in the day. There's like Bowflexes and then Pelotons and then all that stuff. You don't need cardio when you drum. Yeah. Well, depends on what you're drumming. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was really like, you know, doing the metal-y stuff, you get a lot more of a workout. With this, you're just kind of like, the whole goal is not even to lift your arms. So I don't know. I think it depends on what you're drumming. Like right now, I'm just like trying my hardest not to move. You know what I'm saying? Like don't even look like I'm trying. So, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're playing for sure. Although you look at people like Buddy Rich and you watch him play. Any clip you pull up, granted those lights back in the day weren't LEDs, so he had like these massive, like those old school can lights, and they were pretty hot. But he had those on, and he's just like dripping sweat. So yeah, I just suck. So I probably still need some cardio, you know. Can you show me how to do a perfect cross stick? Yeah. Well, cross stick. Is that what you mean? A cross stick? Or like technically. So is it 1? You never get a good sound. Okay. So the key to this, in all honesty, is, oh man, let me move. I want to move. See, I want to take this off, but I kind of rigged it up to be kind of this like one thing. I don't think I can take that off. The thing about a cross stick is you don't change how you hold the stick, right? But you want to create like a Kermit the Frog, like a sock puppet in your hand, right? Like that kind of thing, because you're creating like a resonant chamber. So a normal stick holding, you know, you're playing like this or whatever. When you do a cross stick, you're pretty much just holding this, and you want to have obviously these fingers like lay on the drum, right? Your butt of the stick always touches. There's no secret, but it's all placement. Every drum has a different spot, right? If you do a cross stick at the edge, like at the very edge of the drum, you're gonna get all rim because there's nothing resonating. The back of the head or the back of the stick isn't touching any of the resonating spot. That's where that sound comes from. Your stick hitting the rim and then vibrating down and resonating in the drum, right? So if you go too far out, you get like a center of the snare hit, like it's dead, right? You'll hear the click, but you also hear like this resonant from the snare of like honk, right? Like if you were to mute the drum and tap the center of the stick, that's what you get, right? But if you mute the drum and tap on the side, so you really got to try placement. Every drum's gonna be different. I line my snares up this way. So when I'm playing my left hand, the snares are going like toward the kick drum. That way, you're always playing on the snares. So when you do a rim shot, you're in that direct path of the snare, which helps too. So your palm is gonna be on the drum. Your fingers are gonna land on the drum after you come down, and this always stays on the drum, right? So your palm here and this are always on the drum. I keep my fingers kind of closed. You don't have to. Meaning like a sock puppet all the time, create like a little resonating chamber in your hand to bounce back some sound into the drum. And depending on, like I said, where your snares line up, you're gonna try to aim. I always find the best drum click sound is in between lugs, right? If you hit a lug, or like if you're landing your rim shot on a lug itself, it's kind of like a thin sounding, like crispier. You might want that if it's like a tighter, funky thing. But right off on the side, right, you get more of that like kind of sound. So on the lug, off the lug. Probably can't tell the difference with this microphone. But it's a confidence thing, right? When you play it, it's just like a rim shot. You gotta throw down. If you're not, like, or if you're in the wrong spot, you get that weird, right? So find the placement on your snare where it sounds the way you want. And then I used to mark like a little, like I'd get a permanent marker and just mark a line where the back of my stick should be. And from there, you can move it around this way to find the sound you want. Like this is more tight. Different tones. It's a great question though. In drum terminology, is snare in this case the wire? Yeah. So the snares where you disconnect it. The snare wires. Some people send them up perfectly like opposite of you, right? They'll do it horizontal, so like pointed towards the hi-hat and the floor tom. Nothing wrong with that. Some people do it straight on, like they'll do it forwards and backwards. So if they're playing a lot of like buzz rolls up top and come down the middle. If you're playing a lot of like backbeats and rim shots, generally with your left hand, you'll want, I put it this way. So it just lines up with that left hand coming down. You're always just gonna get the most snare bang for your buck and thuddiness. So it's preference. And if, this is the downside of a Gretsch snare, this lightning throw off or whatever this is called, it sticks up a little bit. So I got to put it up here. So it's a pain in the butt. I wish it was over here because then I could just quick turn it on and off because it's right here. You don't have to like reach far, but yeah. Gretsch, come on now. So that's a great question. Orientation of it when you set up your kit. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I never did until, I don't know, like, again, someone shows you or you talk about it because, yeah, you don't really think about it. But if you take if your snare set up right and you tap in the center of the drum, you'll notice that if you go to where there's the least amount of snare, you're going to get more ringing. When you come in, you'll hear the snare action more. But if you go to the edge where the snare is, you'll still hear. See, it's a deader sound because there's more snares killing it quicker. And it just responds a little faster. So it's the best cross stick sound is going to be where the back of your stick is on the snare. And then again, it's a confidence thing. Like you might have to push down on the snare a little bit because that'll change. See, it changes the pitch. Just like if you take a drum, right? It's a big part of it. If you're just like have your hand rested in you're like, see, if your hand's not really muting the drum, you get that like wow kind of sound. Sounds awful. It's so bad. What does that sound like on a mic? Yeah, for country, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a huge sound, right? It's a way for a drummer to maintain that confidence of, but again, confidence, like play it just like you would a rim shot with just like conviction and just really remember muting. Now, you watch a lot of like old players like Bernard Purdy used to play a lot of cross stick stuff, and he would flip his stick around even for his normal groove. Right? Check it out. The butt of the stick, for rim shots, you're just gonna destroy your stick, and then when you turn it around, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna suck. But if you're playing like, if you want just a beefier snare sound or a cross stick without like having to like get a bigger stick or whatever, because where the shape of the stick is definitely going to determine the sound of it when it's hitting the rim. So if you hear a normal cross stick, as opposed to flipping it around, you get a little more chalkiness to it. It's louder. Regular and then normal. That one's like to me a little more Latin-y, right? See, just separating my hands a little bit, or my fingers, I went from that to this. You can hear how the resonation doesn't go down, it just comes out. Fun. But if you're doing country, I'd say just if you're playing with a beefy stick, which you probably should be if you're playing country, like a 5B, something like that, or a rock stick, even a 2B might be a lot. But like country is all about the big, like you don't want your snare drum to be too tight and too like quick. You want it to just, right? That's country. I hope that helps. That's a great question. People ask that sometimes, but I think they want like an answer that's like, oh, just do this, and this is the sound you'll get. But to get the proper sound, it requires a lot of experimentation, and there's so many little things that go into getting like the best sound. But your tuning, where your hand is on the stick, where your hand is on the drum, where the stick is in general. Yeah. So yeah, good luck. That's awesome though. 90s country's probably my favorite country, like Garth Brooks and all that. It was a really interesting time because it still was country to me. Now a lot of the country stuff is just rock, you know. It's just where all the rock players went. They went to country. All the session rock guys in LA moved to Nashville to play on stuff. Lou Dog, what's up? Oh my gosh, 39. How are you doing? Thank you. What's up? What's up? What's up? So yeah, that's a big help. And you'll see like, I don't want to call them gimmicky products. But there's like X-Talk things where it's like these clip-on like wood blocks. I got one, you know. There's always people trying to do them, groove blocks or whatever. You know, if you like it, awesome. But I feel like just having a good, confident, solid technique get the same result. You know, amazing drummers in the studio. Yeah, this I could be wrong. Maybe he did for different albums, but I'm pretty sure like currently Garth has had like the same drummer, right? Like he sticks with his band for a long time. Like I feel like he's had the same band for his whole career. Maybe he's changed drummers, but I know certain members of his group have been there from the beginning, and I think that's awesome. You know, like he's not one of these cats that just like every tour gets a new band or whatever. He's found his group, and it's Garth Brooks, but he's got the same band. That's a big part of it, you know. Yeah, he said it's amazing, but yeah, they're so good. I'm pretty sure it's the same drummer, but I could be very wrong. Oh, you're seeing the Foo Fighters tonight. Wait, where are they playing? Are they in Hershey? Because I know they're going to be in Pennsylvania, or they might have already been in Hershey, but that's awesome, man. That's going to be a killer show. You're going to see Josh. I'm jealous. I think the Foo Fighters are definitely tier 1 when it comes to putting on a show. So that's awesome. Oh, nice. Gotcha. Nice. That's going to be a great show. Yeah, they were in they were in Hershey recently, or they're going to play in Hershey. I think. I don't know. I would go to a Foo Fighters concert for sure. There's only a few bands that I would want to go see live, and I would go see them. I would like to see the Taylor Swift one. I think that'd be kind of good. I want to see Beyonce's thing. I would like to go see Tool again at some point, just to see how different they are compared to when, I mean, I've been to so many Tool shows over the years, but, you know, just to see how they are now. I'm sure they're really good, but definitely would like to see Foo Fighters. I've seen them once before, and it was just a heck of a show. Yeah, Tool is always amazing. Yeah. I got to see Foo Fighters. I mean, this is... My favorite album is One by One, and I got to see them on that tour. And it was just like the coolest thing. I remember that video. The music video for One by One came out. Remember, like, where they're in the Forum? It's just so cool. So cool. I'm amazed Marilyn Manson is... What? He's touring again? Who's he opening for? Ugh, he's so cringe. Yeah, I'm curious who he's playing with. I didn't hear that. I thought he was just like done. You know? I don't know. I studied with his drummer when I first moved to LA, Ginger. For a little bit. He was super nice. His drummer was, I think he was from Sweden. He taught at this one college for a little bit. Super nice guy. Great drummer. But Marilyn Manson just was weird to me. I don't know. I never got into him. Yeah, is he still is Ginger still his drummer? Now I gotta look that up. But if we're going that route, I think like Rob Zombie and like White Zombie is so much better than Marilyn Manson. In the vein of that genre and that style of music, just so much better. Oh, he's rock. Okay, nice. Good for him. Nice. That makes sense. He would slay on that gig. Yeah, I'm curious. If you know who Marilyn is opening for, let me know. I'm curious. Like, who would think that's a good idea? What management company would be like, you know who should open for you? Marilyn Manson. He's like a PR nightmare. Plus, he's super old. Oh, Five Finger Death Punch? Really, guys? Really? I don't know. It's weird. That doesn't seem like a good fit at all, but maybe that's just me. Boom, boom, boom. I never got into Five Finger Death Punch either. All right. We're working on Hertas in threes. Or not in threes, but finding connections like threes in a row. We're doing paradiddles. So paradiddle stickings with Hertas. That's what we're working on. You liked Marilyn Manson's early stuff. Hollywood was the best of his albums. Yeah, I like The Beautiful People and all that. I love the guitar tone. It's a killer guitar tone. Like that, great guitar sounds. But yeah, I never got into him. You know, I feel like I saw him at a festival or at some point, and it's just weird. I don't know. It's not my thing. It's good stuff. Yeah, good drums. That's that. But it's basically that swing. Right? That's that song. Is it Cherry Poppin' Daddies? Swing, 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 all those. It's interesting, like that whole 90s era, when that came out, you had like that swing resurgence, right? Cherry Poppin' Daddies, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. Marilyn Manson was doing the right here. Essentially the same kind of feel as Beautiful People, right? This triplet thing. Vixie, how are you doing? It's good to see you. But it's fun. It's fun to dive into that stuff. But yeah, if he's touring, did he come out with new music? I wouldn't want to hear that. You know? I'd just be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Certain people should just stop, you know? The last thing I remember about Marilyn Manson, I loved Lost, the show Lost. When that was out and showing, I was really into that. And I remember they were doing like the big finale of Lost, and Jimmy Kimmel had the cast of Lost on his show. And like they were like, and Marilyn Manson's here. He's a big fan. And they showed him in the crowd, and he's just like, I was like, man, he's so creepy. Super weird. Last Marilyn Manson story. I've said this before, but me and my friend Luke, we went to MI, and it's right in Hollywood, like Hollywood and Highland. It's right there, center of Hollywood. And we were walking into school one day. Luke had his guitar. I think I had like my cymbal bag or something. And Marilyn Manson, his real name is Brian Warner, was walking in front of us on the sidewalk. And this is like 2000. Like, he's a big star. Everyone knows who he is. He's just walking in Hollywood. And my friend Luke was like, hey, Brian. Just said his name, right? Like, he's like, that's Marilyn Manson. I was like, I don't know, man. And he's like, it is. I know it is. And he's like, hey, Brian. And he turned around, gave him like the dirtiest look. And he was like, just like, leave me alone, you nerds. But it was him. It was definitely him. But he didn't say hi. He wasn't very nice. But maybe we weren't very nice. I don't know. Maybe we were rude. But he was like, hey, Brian. He turned around and was like, oh. It's pretty funny. I think his name's like Brian Warner or Brian Werner or something. idiot, what's up, right? Isn't his real name Brian? 99%. Or maybe he was yelling the wrong name. That's why he was mad. But, yeah, it was pretty funny. Because Luke was like, Brian, hey, Brian. And yeah, he wasn't having it. It was like at 9 in the morning. Like, no one was around. He was probably just like, oh, my God, I'm just trying to walk, exercise, or whatever. My grandma met Alice Cooper at a Barnes & Noble, and she thought it was Marilyn Manson. That's so funny. Alice Cooper is a good dude. He's super nice. A lot of respect for him. I hear very good things. It's funny, all these stories. I just like pulled up his thing, Glenn Sobel. Like a packet I have of his. He was a teacher at the last year I was there. He's killer drummer. And he went on to play. I think he's still playing with Alice. Last I knew, but he's a sweetheart of a dude. He's a great teacher, super nice. But yeah, that's so funny at a Barnes and Noble. I'm sure Alice was probably like, yeah, okay, old lady, I'm Marilyn Manson, whatever. You know? Alice is the Gage, right? He's like the OG. But that's pretty funny. I just think he's a little cringe, Marilyn Manson. Oh, what? You see the Goo Goo guys? The Goo Goo Doll guys. Nice. I love the Goo Goo Dolls. Love them. Dizzy Up the Girl was the first album I ever bought with my own money back in the day. And all my friends made fun of me. They're like, you bought the Goo Goo Dolls? I was like, shut up, guys. It's a great album. Guys, the orchestrations are so good. And the melodies, the harmonies. They were like, whatever, you're such a dork. Because they were like punk dudes. And they were like, you bought the Goo Goo Dolls? And I was like, nah. Right? They were in, Goo Goo Dolls were in Deadpool Wolverine, right? Classic. I think it is. That soundtrack is so cool for that movie. Black Balloon is just one of the best songs ever written. But I thought they didn't want the world to see them. Yeah. Just around. That's so cool. That's so cool. All right. So we're working on paradiddles. Here, guys, hold on. My dad just called. I'm gonna put this on. I'll be right back. Let me just make sure everything's okay. I'm a mute. I'll be right back. Just give me 2 seconds. I have that song in my head now. And I don't want the world. We might go for ice cream tonight. So, sorry, I had to take that call. My sister's birthday was Wednesday. So, we've been trying to figure out a time to go out for ice cream. So, guys, that was important. Right? Ice cream. Yeah, so we're going out for ice cream. Tonight at some point. We don't know. But, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. If your parents call, pick up. You never know. Could be an ice cream call. Right? My dad's buying, so I'm going. Yeah, 100%. All right. Let's get to work. Man, you want to talk about acrostic sound? It's my hi-hat squeaks. Right. All right, let's do it. So we did the first iteration, a normal paradiddle, paradiddle. And the root of it is 3 notes in a row. Right. The next one is an inverted paradiddle. So if you take a paradiddle, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, and just scoot it over, right? So we're playing a mode or an inversion or modulation or whatever, however you want to call it. Everyone says a million different things, but it's an inverted paradiddle. So you start with the left, right? So left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right. It's an inverted paradiddle. Paradiddle, a diddle, paradiddle, right? Technically, that's it. Or if you start with the left hand, I'm sorry. There we go. Start with the left for a proper inverted paradiddle. But we're going to play it as a herita. And we haven't done paradiddles yet. We'll get to that. I'm kind of holding off on that. I want to run through all these. And this is where connections are going to take place, where I'm paying attention to. So this is an alternating bass, meaning an inverted herta as an inverted paradiddle. The base of it, or the root of it, is just a alternating triplet. Cool. This is the only one so far that alternates back and forth. The next two are like this: a reverse paradiddle and an inverted paradiddle in the first permutation of the herita. All these words make no sense to some people. I'm so sorry. But this is what I'm trying to find things that work together, right? And this is a potential good one. This could be a good one. So I'm just going to mess around with it again, starting with your left hand. It's cool. It's different. So we're going to work on it. If anyone has questions, interrupt, please. So we're taking an inverted paradiddle, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, but playing it as a herta. So herita, 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 right? So cool. And then we'll add flammies to it later, and it'll get wild. So let's try it. I want to start with the right, but I have it starting with the left. Now I don't have this on the paper, but if you take all these, just do the opposite, right? So all these paradiddle permutations. If you just start with the second version of it, you'll get a different, like, obviously a different starting rhythm or bass rhythm on one. But that's cool. I like that one. All right. Elvin Stone. Elvin Stone is the budget version. With Elvin Jones, right? Store brand. Oh, store brand Elvin. He's so good, man. Yeah, so the version of that. We have Elvin Jones at home. It's so good, right? That's awesome. Oh, man. Oh, we can make tacos at home. You're like, oh, man. It's not the same. Oh, it's so funny. That was good, bass player. That's probably the best comment of the year. That was really good. Oh. Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. All right, so that's the inverted. I like that one a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I think that one flows good, partially because there's no 3 in a row, and that's what I'm trying to find. Like the ones with 3 in a row, my left hand is a big hindrance on those because my left hand just isn't as good, right, as the right. So whenever some of these versions or permutations, however you want to call them, pop up, I have them marked, which have 3 in a row. They're always weird for me because of the left hand, I think. Any iteration of these like that, where there's no 3 in a row, and I'm excited to do the flam versions, but the flam version of this has 3 in a row. But I think I like this one because it's like 3 in a row in a quick way, in a fun way, but where I could like almost buzz. We'll get to that, but out of all the paradiddle versions of this, the only one that has 3 in a row is the normal, so the paradiddle, and then the over the bar line paradiddle. But we'll get to that. The next one is the reverse paradiddle. So. Diddle para or diddle a pair. baseball. Da-da-da. How does the chorus go? Such a weird song. The drums are good though. That guitar, so good. Who's this guitar player? Forget. Johnny something, right? Johnny 5 or whatever. Wasn't he like a creeper, dude? No, I'm thinking about it. All right, diddle a pair. So this one is a super approachable one for a lot of people because it's just triplets back and forth. don't like it in that form, like straight on the downbeat. I like it in that 4/3 feel. All these little roadblocks in my brain keep popping up. I like that one though. One more. Over the bar line. This is probably my favorite version. This and the inverted. These two. A paradiddle, if you take it all the way to the last diddle and start there, that's this mode or this inversion. So a paradiddle, start on that last one. And you'll notice it's a right, left, right, left, and then a left, right. And I call it an over the bar line paradiddle because it has that over the bar line feel. Right? You're doing those like inverted doubles. Cool. Sounds neat. It's different, right? But in Herta form, we're going to have, this is another one where the root of this wow. So we have 3 in a row, but it's like over the bar line. so hard. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the idea. It's very weird, but this is such a cool version of this that I love it. But I don't know if I'm good at it yet. Yet, keyword yet. But I call it an over the bar line paradiddle. I'm not sure what other people call it, but that's how I see it. As it really resolves over the bar line, but technically it doesn't. But it's a tasty lick. So inverted or not inverted. Oh, what happened? What did I do? I broke the robot. Hold on. Do. What did I do? Hopefully it didn't disconnect anything. I shouldn't have stopped it. It's going so well. Let's see. Are you good, robot? Are we good? Maybe I hit reset on accident. Very big possibility. 'Cause I'm a loser, baby. Man, that's a good song too. getting there. Feeling it. A little bit. Like a little bit. Tooth, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I'm going to try some. Hopefully I don't break the robot. See, last time I did this, I had to reset it. Are you good? You good, robot? His name's Dummy. All right, we're good. All right. Some people are worried about robots taking over the world. I've had some robots in my room for many years. I'm not worried. They're pretty stupid. They're really dumb. So far. Like Iron Man. Isn't that what he calls his robot? Dummy? That's what this is. It looks just like him too. If there was a fire and I was like, put it out, he'd just stand there. Like, they're pretty dumb. But Tooth, how are you doing? Cheers. I'm ready to move on to flams for these diddles, and then we got 2 more pages. It never ends. All the things that I used to say. It goes out the window. These are awesome, but I can see like the framework of a lot of really cool things that I want to play are in here, and just going through it, you know, learning it and find the connections that where it works. That's what we're working on. All the things that I used to say. How am I doing? I'm doing great, Tooth. How are you doing? School starting up here in like a week and a half. This past week was my sister's birthday, so we're gonna go out for ice cream later. We might go buy a fish today, like a betta fish for the kids, because we need more responsibility in our lives, right? We might do that. I don't know. But since we're going out for ice cream, maybe we can stall the fish purchase. You know what's going to happen? They're not going to touch the fish or clean it or deal with it. And the thing's going to be like, I'm dying, help me. And I'll be like, dude, all right, I got you. That's how that's going to play out. But yeah, school's starting. I don't know, fairs. Anyone going? Anyone have local fairs? We might go to the fair. I don't know. The leaves are already starting to fall, which is great news. I'm ready for winter. Summer's basically over. And yeah, I hear them upstairs right now. They were playing Fortnite. They're very excited for Fortnite right now. They're like, oh my gosh, Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is coming to Fortnite. So they're all like, oh my gosh. I'm like, do you even know who Dr. Doom is? They're like, no, but it's cool. And it's green and I want that skin. And I'm like, you suckers. Your carnival's going on now. Right on. Ours was last weekend, like the local one. And we never go, but I think it got rained out like hardcore from, we had like a huge rainstorm. My friend Chuck was supposed to play drums at it. They play every year. And I didn't hear him because I can usually hear him from my house, but I couldn't hear him. So I think they got washed out, right? He's the best villain. He's pretty cool. If they do it right, it's going to be awesome. My hope is anyone that follows comics, right? Didn't Dr. Doom and Iron Man like switch bodies? I hope they do something like that, you know, where we get like a different Dr. Doom eventually. Because I love Robert Downey Jr. He's great, but like we need like a new like awesomeness, you know? So I don't know. I hope they do that. Like do a couple movies where Doom is Iron Man where they switched, but oh, you don't know that timeline? I don't know what timeline it is, but there's a cool story. But they're doing Secret Wars, so I don't know. So I think they're merging like that story where Iron Man and Doom switched, and then maybe he's trying to do the Earth whatever one timeline craziness. I don't know. Too many time travel timeline crap things going on, you know? Like, if you're a nerd, you get it. But, like, my parents watch these movies, and they're like, what the heck is going on? And my poor mom, like, whenever we would watch movies, as kids, she would ask a million questions. Who's he? Is he bad? Is he a good guy? what's going on? Like, we're like, Mom, watch the movie. And she's just like, what's happening? Right? I feel like they're losing a huge chunk of their audience by going down all these crazy wormholes of like, oh, this one's from this timeline and blah, 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 blah. You know, people that just want to go to the movies and see Iron Man, like, get a bad guy. Now they're like, wait, why is Iron Man now this, like, I don't know. It's getting a little out of hand. But I love it as a nerd point of view if they do it right. But I think they're losing a lot of, like, people's attention and excitement for it because, yeah, they don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden now Han Solo's Red Hulk. They're like, wait, he's Hulk now? What's happening? Where's the Hulk? You know, it's just confusing. My poor mom's going to go to the movies and be like, why is Indiana Jones a Hulk now? What's happening? So confusing. I'm sure I feel about that one. Well, the person who played Ross passed away, right? The actor. Sadly, I feel like he passed away. If I'm not mistaken. So they recast him because Ross is Red Hulk, right? Like in the comics. So I feel like that's cool. Like it wasn't a recast because they're like, we just want Harrison Ford. I feel like that worked. But yeah, Ross is the Red Hulk. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I really don't know where they're gonna go. Like in general, like ever since Endgame, I feel like they were setting up like Kang, but even that felt weird, you know, with like Ant-Man and all that. I'm like, this is like, where are we going with this? He's not a threat. He's like this big. Like, I don't know. Like, feel like all these movies have been coming out. They're not setting anything up. They're just like the movies. They're just like just telling. Even like Deadpool, Wolverine. It was cool, but like nothing was set up. Spoiler alert. So I don't know. They like they're teasing all these like little things like in the Marvels and all that. Like it's cool, but like give us some like progress this along a little quicker, right? Like we don't need 20 movies to set up like, okay, who's like the next thing or who's the next bad guy, you know? We're just getting like all these like meh stories. So I think they've gone too far with all. Well, it's just like real life comics, right? Like if you go to the comic book store right now, you've never read a comic and you walk in there and you're like, I want an Iron Man comic. And the person's going to be like, well, where do you want to start? And you'd be like, what? And they'll be like, you can start here, you can start here. You want to say, oh, you should read this first. And then this sets up this. And you're just like, I just want, what's happening? Like, give me Harry Potter book 1. You know, there's so much. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Deadpool's fun. It's a fun movie, but it's just a lot of like fun nothingness, right? Like it's if you've watched all the movies, it's fun. You'll just like, haha, that's cool. But it doesn't like the movie doesn't serve a purpose in my opinion. Like it doesn't do anything. Like I thought that was gonna like reset everything and you know we were gonna start fresh maybe or something, but now it just made it worse. Sorry it's a spoiler, but you watch it and you're like, okay, what's the point of this? Where are we going with this? But it's a fun movie. It's good. A lot of good. The soundtrack is awesome. Deadpool is just a fun movie. Yeah, like in the comics, right? It's clever. It's very cleverly done, and it's a good time. But every movie that I've been watching from Marvel, I'm wanting it to like set up something, right? Like end of Doctor Strange, right? He gets his third eye and he's like, goes, the other sorcerer shows up and you're like, oh man, let's go. And then like the next movie, they go in the X-Men universe or whatever, the Marvels. It's like there's these things that are popping up, but you're like, all right, come on, let's get to it. And every year they just bring in these other movies that just kind of tease what's happening. So I'm sure Kang, that changed a lot of stuff and delayed things, but Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in how many movies? two or three. Two of the Avengers movies, I think. So I don't think he's like a long-term cast. I think he's kind of like a Thanos. We should bring in Thanos back, King Thanos. And in the comics, doesn't like, if I remember correctly, doesn't Doom like just shred apart Thanos? Doesn't he like just like rip his head off or something? Doesn't he like whatever? I don't know. I think that's what happens. So I think Thanos is just around to just like kill him, like in every movie, you know, every timeline. I saw the picture. Yeah, he's got like that old Thanos beard. So we'll see. I don't know what they're gonna do, because a lot of the big players in those comics, like Cap, is gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Iron Man, Captain America, like they're not, like they were huge parts of those storylines. So like, I don't know. That's what I'm like. They're going down this road of like Secret Wars and all this, but they already killed off like everybody. Scarlett Johansson's dead. Spoiler alert. Sorry. It's been a few years. You should know that by now. You know? Black Panthers, that was unfortunate, but you know, like we're missing a lot, so we'll see. Happy Spoiler Sunday with Dan. Yeah. Guys, Bambi's mom totally dies. How are you doing, dude? It's good to see you. I'm like taking a mental break here for a second before we get into the last leg of it. I thought I was gonna do all these in one day. Like I was gonna blow through these papers like the professional, amazing drummer that I am. But so far, I'm doing like a half a page a day. These are crazy. And I love it. It's great. I feel like I could stick with these for a year and get so much out of it. Just these 3 little papers. Again, if you're just hopping in, I posted them on Twitter and Instagram. So you can check them out. But it's like layers upon layers of things you could do with this. And the more I do it, the more I realize like, oh my God, there's so much here, so many good things. It's the bunk beds of Hertas. Also, well, in Colorado, at least my house. Nice. Is it still really warm there? I thought it was like crazy hot. But yeah, it's cooler here now. Tooth, hopefully you're enjoying the less humid air. It was nice this morning. I took the dog out and I was like, oh, okay. But everything's still like alive and green and like making pollen, so I don't like that. But leaves are falling. Leaves are starting to fall. It's the beginning of the end for summer, which I'm very excited for winter. Winter's coming and gonna murder all the things. I love it. And yeah, so everything's good here. I gotta do our driveway. I gotta seal up our driveway. I gotta go to like Tractor Supply and get all that like goop, you know? Anyone seal their driveway this year? I gotta do that before the end of summer. And I want to get our deck rail redid. I gotta do that before the snow flies. It melted, oh nice, to the 80s. Yeah, it got hot for you guys, I think. I follow along on the weathers. A couple friends in Colorado, but that whole like Midwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, guys got hit with the heat. Tooth, nice. Does he come up to Wyoming County? Does he come up this way? That's cool. Yeah, we got, last year we got our driveway paved. I wasn't planning on it. These dudes showed up. I was outside cleaning a filter for our oven, like the oven fan. This dude pulls up. He's like, hey, we're doing a driveway down the road. We got some extra stuff. We'll do your driveway for like nothing. And I was like, I'm like, nah, I don't really need it. We're good. And he's like, no, seriously, we'll do it for like nothing. Like the crew's right there. Because they got to pay if they have leftover asphalt. You got to pay to just like to get rid of it. Like apparently they got like too much, and it could be a scam. I don't know. But I paid little to nothing for our driveway, and they did a great job. And I know the person who hired them. So I'm like, all right, I know who you're doing it for. They're good people. Seem like a nice whatever, and they did a great job, and for literally like nothing. So it's good. It's worked for like a year, and yeah, I wasn't planning on doing it, but it was so cheap, like literally so cheap. It's cheaper than this drum set. I'll put it that way. And they did it in like under 3 hours, so it was great. But I got to seal it. It's good. It all worked out. Yeah, worst case scenario, I was like, I'll just bring in the skid steer and take it out if they do a crappy job, or I won't pay them, because they were, it was pretty last minute, but it worked out. They're local people, so like, you see them in the grocery store. Always do business with local people if you can. So yeah, it worked out, but I want to seal it before winter this year. I did a whole year with it. Just let it breathe, let it move and crack or whatever if it was gonna, but it's so far it's tip top, and it's thick. They did it's thick, guys, with 2 C's. Does your brother do pavement stuff as well, or just seal? My thing how we're gonna do it is I got 3 free laborers. So we're gonna go to Tractor Supply, get the sealant, and I'm gonna get, some broomsticks and some of the little brushes. I'll be like, get out there, kids. Get to work. I'll like blow it off with the whatever. But I used to do that for my grandpa. My grandpa I used to seal his driveway, and then he'd take me to Walmart and he'd be like, yeah, pick some. And I'd be like, oh, can I get this Lego? He's like, yeah. I'm not buying my kids anything though. They're doing it for free because, yeah. Princess, what's up? Hello. It's a lot and hard to find decent help. Yeah, right. Nice. Yeah, the pavement, that stuff's expensive too. But yeah, finding help, man. My dad's brother, my uncle, worked for a pavement company for years, and he was trying to retire, and they were like, please, we'll pay you double. Like, because he's a good worker. He always showed up on time, and just a great employee. And he worked, I think, another year or two, and he's like, I gotta stop. It's hard work. You're out in the sun all the time. But they like didn't want him to retire, and he was like, I got to. This is getting crazy. So yeah. Lad, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Sunday morning, rain is falling. I got that song in my head now. But we're going to do one more thing, the Paradiddle Hertas with flams at the start of the permutation of it. So the next batch is going to suck, but it's going to be really fun. We'll get through that. And then, yeah, I'm going out for ice cream tonight. Anyone doing anything fun? Nice guy. Hello. How are you doing? So it's going to be a fun day, chill day, nothing going on. We're trying to like not do a lot before school starts, right? We did the vacations, we did all the summer travels, the kids got to do things. My kids have done more their whole lives than I've done my whole life. It's crazy. They're so lucky that they get to do certain things. Where, I don't know, my parents did a lot for us, but it was like we would like go to the beach for like a day to go see my aunt. That was our vacation. Or my dad would take us to like we'd all go like to Knoebels. It's, if anyone lives in Pennsylvania, you know about Knoebels, right? Very small like amusement park. It was like it seemed like Disney World to me when I was a kid. But my dad and mom would take us, me and my sister, and we'd get there. We'd be there for like an hour, maybe, like 45 minutes. And my dad would be like, all right, everyone good? Ready to go? We're like, we just got here. He was like, all right, let's finish this up. Right? You went on a ride. You're good. And I'm totally that way now. Right? You get there with kids, and I'm like, all right, you good? You got some funnel cakes? All right, let's go. Let's beat the traffic out of the parking lot, kids. I never understood that. Beat the traffic. Now I get it, right? Not sitting there in the parking lot. Fun memories, right? But yeah, my kids, they've done all these things. It's wild. Even playing video games now. Like, they're playing with their buddies. They got, like, party chat. You know, they're all like, hey, man, what's up? Yeah, let's play. Ready up, bruh. And now, you know, they just, all summer, they're just having a blast. When I was, like, I had played, I don't know, I had, like, 2 games. I played them by myself for all summer. You barely got to talk to your friends, right? Because, like, I don't know. We didn't call each other too much. So you went like the whole summer without seeing or hearing or like talking to any of your friends. The first day of school, you were like, holy crap, what? Like, everyone changed, right? Their voices, everyone looked different. But my kids, they see their buddies. They talk to their buddies all the time. They're phoning, texting. It's fun. But different, right? Beat the traffic. Orlando, what's up? You know. My parents used to we used to leave church early to beat the traffic from church. Like, straight up, they'd be like praying at the end, and my dad would be like, let's go. Just like sneak out to beat all the old ladies. Because, you know, you're trying to leave, and the old people are like, am I going to hit anything? They take forever. My dad's like, let's go, I'm hungry. Plus, you want to leave church before like everyone gets all chatty. You know what I'm saying? You just want to leave, and that's when everyone's like, hey. My dad's not chatty. He was like, let's go. We always had a crock pot meal. My mom would always do like roast beef, potatoes, and like onions and carrots in the crock pot. So we were all like, let's get home. Because a crock pot meal like that, put butter, salt on it. Oh, it's the best. So we were all like, yeah, we don't want to talk to you. We got to get home. Yeah. And the father said, yeah, holy skedaddle, get out of here. Everyone had their eyes closed so we could sneak out. It was great. The ushers would like side eye you as you were leaving. But they were like, respect, I get it. They knew. Churches were interesting because you knew the people that were at your church and how they acted outside of church, you know? So you'd be in there and you're like, what's going on here? At least where I live. We were just like, what? Like, that person's not nice when they're not in church. Bunch of phonies, guys. Bunch of phonies. So, again, if anyone wants to try this, I wrote all these out, and please focus. There we go. Good camera. Put it in the light a little bit. We're working on this now, this bottom part. So it's this version of paradiddles as hertas in this version of a herta, tripleta, right? And down here we apply a flam to the first note of the skip beat. And that's what we're going to work on. That's what we'll finish up today with. If anyone has questions, please ask first off. But we got this version And this is what we'll do next. So the skip beat is in the middle. So da 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 da, right? And then it's on the last note. Did it. I don't know. Triple did it. Da 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 da. First one I say chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chimney. Oh, the third one, it reminds me of Game of Thrones. The second one is chim chimney, chim chimney. First one's just Herta. Always have little like things in your head to remind you for rhythms. So mine's Herta, Chim Chimney, and Game of Thrones. Dun, 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 dun. No. Dun, 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 dun. Anyone watch House of Dragons? I love it. It's a great show. I love Game of Thrones. But I'm pissed because it's going to be like 2 years until the next season. So that sucks. So I think I might rewatch Game of Thrones. I've never rewatched it, but I enjoy it. It's really good. The ending's kind of meh, but those shows always, the endings, you're kind of just like, what? George R.R. Martin hasn't even put the book out for the ending yet, so who knows how it really ends, but the show's good. It's fun. You should check it out, too. There's a lot of murdering, loving, and dragons, and murdering. It's fun. It's a good time. Characters are good. The acting's good. That's the thing right now with shows. All these, like, series. Some of the acting is just so bad. You know? Like, it's awful. It's not good. That show is really fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. Rewatching that. Penguin, the TV show in the Batman universe, is coming out. I'm excited to watch that. I don't know. That's about it. That's about as excited as I am. What's the next Marvel series coming out? Like Loki or all those. What is there one on the table? I don't think so. Maybe Daredevil? I think that might be the next one, but who knows when that's coming out. If anyone knows, let me know. Because we just watched The Acolyte. Usually they do like Star Wars, Marvel, like, but there's nothing right now, right? Daredevil's next. When does that come out? This fall? That'll be good. I'm excited for that. I hope Punisher's in it. Russo. Let's try this. So Paradiddles as Hertas with a flam at the start of the skip beat. That's what we're doing. Okay, here we go. Camera, please work. What is this, your sternum? Does your sternum ever just like crack? You're like, I don't know if it's like my sternum or just everything's falling apart, but it felt good. technically it's like 3 in a row, right? I didn't like this up top. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. Technically, this one's 4 in a row. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I don't like the feel of this one. Put a big in that one. All right, inverted. I'm gonna move through these kind of quick because I'm not a big fan of these. I like them in doubles or single forms, but some of them work. But so this is an inverted Paradiddle Herta. Flam. Whew. Let's see. Inverted. And with the flam, so the first one will be a right grace note. The 3 in a row with the left, that's always my hard one. Right there, that. If I just repeat the left one, I like that. left hand is just, it's killing me with the threes. I guess fast it is almost like a buzz, but I want to maintain control at a slower tempo. very similar to a Swiss triplet. So a Swiss triplet is right, pretty much like a flam. Put that left flam in there. Oh man. Playing 3 notes in a row instead of like doubles. It's so hard. Right? It's like a left-hand Swiss. But 3. Because you have that flam. But I want it to be a grace note because it's coming from the right hand. I want that left hand to be a grace note, not loud. And I'm playing it super loud. That's so hard because you're going to need momentum. I don't want it to be a buzz like, no, that's cool. That one's we're gonna have to really work on that one. I like that a lot. I like that. So inverted Paradiddle Hertas with a flam at the skip beat. I like that. Next, reverse Paradiddle. Now with that flam, getting tired. Sorry, microphone. Sorry. I hit it. I love this kit. That's it for today. My brain is toast. I'm playing all kinds of stuff, but I don't know what I'm playing. That's not good. But we did got a lot done. I'm very happy with this. I'm finding out what I like, what I don't like, what works, where I need to improve. Obviously, the 3 in a row on the left hand. It's like up-tempo ride stuff. Open or throw, finger, close, ba-da-da, I got to do that. I got to work on that with my left hand. It's so behind. It's crazy. But it's possible. We can get it going. I just got to find like my groove with it. Right now, I'm like, my elbow's up in the air. I feel super weird. I'm pinching. Tension is just nuts. Not a fan of it. But we'll get there. Tomorrow, what day is tomorrow? Monday. Tomorrow we should stream a lot this week. Probably in the evenings, most likely. The missus is getting around like for school and all that, so me and the kids are chilling at home this week. But I want to move on. I want to get all these done. I know it's a lot, and this is super boring for a lot of people. But this is how the cookies get made, I guess, or donuts. Next, we'll go into this, the middle triplet, chimney, as I like to call it. It's a triplet, chimney, dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da da dun ba dun ba dun ba. As the other one today was da 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 dun da dun da da. And you're just shifting the skip beat to the second partial, but it's a whole new set of rhythms that you hear. And I'm trying to teach my brain again. This is like flashcards. The more you do it, the more you're aware of like the true stickings underneath these and how they play together. I'm starting to like mix them up and use them in a way that I like, which is me and not just like, a lame exercise. So I'm using these as a guide to kind of say like, all right, here's what we're working on, create some rules, really understand the structure of it, the use of it, and again, visualizing them is big. So if anyone wants, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, check it out. But yeah, tomorrow we'll start that second partial. We'll put the skip beat, chimney, ba 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 da ba ba da 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 triple it, dun da dun da dun da dun da. It's cool because each time that you do it, each time that you switch these, you pretty much get like a different starting point on the partial with like different hands. So like the first one you start with today is right, left. Tomorrow it's right, left. Dun, da, da, da. It's so cool. It's like the complete opposite, but they're all pretty much the same thing, just variations. So I smell, it's hot down here. I am sweaty. We're working today. We're putting in some work. So everyone have a great Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Thanks for hanging. Get some ice cream. Bye-bye. Dun, 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 dun.